Once a year, in a location kept secret until the last possible moment, a fortress is erected. Surrounded by a perimeter of armed guards, intelligence agents, and a complete media blackout, the world's most powerful people gather. For 3 days, they disappear from public life. Inside, you'll find the CAOs of Google and BP, the heads of the CIA and NATO, prime ministers, presidents, and royalty. They follow one strict rule: what is said in the room stays in the room. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is the Bilderberg meeting. Its defenders call it a private, off-the-record forum for fostering dialogue. Its critics call it the shadow world government, a globalist cabal that manipulates our economies, picks our leaders, and decides our future behind locked doors. Today, we pull back the curtain on the most exclusive and secretive meeting on Earth. To understand Bilderberg, you must understand the fear that created it. The year is 1954. The Cold War is raging. A chasm of mistrust is growing between the United States and its European allies. In this climate of paranoia, a Polish political exile named Rettinger, alongside Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, conceived of a radical idea: a secret summit. They would invite an elite group of political leaders, industrialists, financiers, and academics from both sides of the Atlantic to a secluded hotel, the Hotel de Bilderberg, in the Netherlands. The stated goal was noble: to create a space where these leaders could speak with total candor, free from the pressures of public scrutiny, to strengthen the Western alliance against the Soviet threat. The first meeting was deemed a success, and an annual tradition was born, a tradition of power and of secrecy. The entire controversy surrounding Bilderberg hinges on one principle: the Chatham House Rule. This rule stipulates that attendees are free to use the information they receive, but they cannot reveal the identity or affiliation of the speaker. In theory, this fosters honest debate. In practice, it creates a black box of influence, while a list of attendees and general topics is now released to the public. The substance of the discussions remains a complete mystery. We don't know who argued for what policy. We don't know what deals were brokered in the hallways. And when you scrutinize the guest list, a pattern emerges. Bill Clinton was invited in 1991, just before he became president. Tony Blair attended in 1993, a year before becoming leader of the Labour Party. The current heads of the IMF, the World Bank, Google, Microsoft, and major oil companies are regulars. This isn't just a meeting, it's a roll call of the global ruling class. This pattern has given rise to the most persistent theory about Bilderberg, that it is a Kingmaker summit. The idea is that promising politicians and future leaders are invited to be vetted by the global elite. If they prove to be aligned with the group's consensus typically centered on free market globalism, Atlanticism, and corporate power, they receive the Bilderberg stamp of approval. This, in turn, unlocks access to the financial and media networks necessary to ascend to the highest offices of power. The subsequent elections of Clinton, Blair, and others are often presented as Exhibit A. In this view, Bilderberg doesn't just discuss world events, it directs them. It's not a think tank, it's a steering committee for the planet. Defenders of the group, many of whom are respected journalists and academics who have attended, dismiss this as fantasy. They argue that the idea of 130 alpha personalities, all with competing interests, agreeing on a unified plan for world domination, is laughable. They describe the meetings as a high-level ideas festival, a unique chance to hear unfiltered perspectives. A tech CEO can debate the ethics of AI with a prime minister. A central banker can discuss monetary policy with a historian. The goal, they insist, is not to form policy, but to broaden understanding, allowing these leaders to make more informed decisions in their own spheres of influence. The secrecy, they claim, is the very thing that makes this honest exchange possible. However, the line between informal discussion and manufacturing consent is dangerously thin. For example, in the months leading up to the 2003 invasion of Iraq, the topic was a key point of discussion at the Bilderberg meeting. Many of the governments that later joined the coalition of the willing were represented in that room. Coincidence? Or was the meeting a venue to build a consensus among the Western elite for a war that was, at the time, highly controversial? The very nature of the meeting, where powerful people build personal relationships and align their thinking, inevitably shapes policy, even without a formal vote. The power of Bilderberg isn't in its decisions, but in its ability to set the agenda and define the boundaries of acceptable debate for the world's most influential people. This leads to the most potent criticism of Bilderberg: its profound democratic deficit. In an age that demands transparency, the notion of our elected leaders and corporate titans shaping global policy in secret is fundamentally anti-democratic. If the talks are so benign, why the fortress-like security? Why are journalists who attempt to cover the event often harassed or detained? This culture of extreme secrecy is what transforms a private forum into a secret society in the public imagination, fueling the most extreme theories. These range from the plausible that Bilderberg was instrumental in creating the European Union and the Euro to erode national sovereignty, to the fantastic, linking the group to the Illuminati and a centuries-old plot to establish a totalitarian New World Order. The truth is likely more complex and less cinematic than either extreme. The Bilderberg Group is probably not a cabal of Bond villains plotting world domination, but nor is it an innocent debating society. It is the ultimate embodiment of soft power. It is a space where the global plutocracy, the interwoven network of corporate, financial, and political power gathers to synchronize its worldview. They don't need to issue commands. By sharing information, building relationships, and forging a common understanding of global challenges and solutions, they create a powerful, unified consensus. Bilderberg's real power lies not in what it decides, but in the thinking it shapes. It doesn't write the laws, but it helps mold the minds of the people who do. Ultimately, the Bilderberg Group is a symptom of a world where power is increasingly concentrated in the hands of a small, transnational elite that operates beyond the reach of democratic accountability. The true mystery isn't whether they are plotting a conspiracy, but to what extent their shared vision, forged in secret, has already become our reality. What is your take on the Bilderberg Group? A necessary forum for global dialogue, or a shadow world government? Leave your theory in the comments below. We want to know what you think about the world's most exclusive meeting, and if you believe it's crucial to keep questioning the power structures that operate in the shadows. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell, because there are many more secrets of the global elite waiting to be exposed. Until next time.